Alright, now this year has been really bad when it comes to horror movies. We got things the like of The Forest and The Boy and The Darkness, and all three of those titles make me slightly more depressed every time I say them. But then there are films like Lights Out. And Lights Out was a solid horror movie. It follows a family being harassed by a ghost-like or demonic presence that can only be seen when the lights are out, making it rather hard to look at. But this is a movie that it's effective. And I have to say, this is truly effective because after you watch this movie, you might just feel a little creeped out when you turn the lights out at night. Now, I could tell you I went and I saw this with my brother, as I do most movies, and he said he thought he saw the main monster, Diana, in his room. She didn't move, but he goes, yeah, for a second there I looked over, saw a dark shape, and thought she was there. So he was truly scared, and I have to say that I'm a little less likely to turn the lights out tonight after seeing that film. Yeah, it's creepy, it's dark. This is a good horror movie. It is not necessarily a great horror movie, but it is a very good horror movie, and I would recommend it for anybody who wants to be scared. Now, the young boy in this film, played by Gabriel Martin, he is a returning veteran actor to the horror genre because of his work as Annabelle. I didn't see the film Annabelle, but I believe it wasn't really thought of as that great. So, there's that. But in this, he plays a solid performance. He's a child. Much of the focus is protecting him. That's what children are kind of for in horror movies, unless they themselves become evil. And I have to say I was convinced for him. I felt for him. I was involved in the idea of his survival. I liked his performance very much. Now, Teresa Palmer as, well, the hot chick slash love interest slash main character, I would have liked to have seen a little more of her literally because this is a horror movie and you kind of expect the obligatory boob shot. And because this is PG-13, we don't get the obligatory boob shot. Maybe there'll be an R-rated cut later. There is a few bits here where she lays on the sexy, and that's appreciated, although as a character she's not quite as fleshed out as she could have been. I didn't have the same emotional investment in her as I did in her younger brother. So I wasn't as totally into that character. Again, I do feel it's a solid performance. It's not a stellar performance. I think this young actress is probably going some places. But, I mean, if I had to give it a 1 out of 10, I'd give it an 8. You know, not bad, not great. Hot girl, you like seeing her in horror movies. It worked out pretty well. I personally think the real star of this is Alice Vela-Bailey, who plays the monster Diana. She's a stunt woman who has actually done stunt work for Gal Gadot on Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. And again, Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice is a bigger film than this. It's a prettier film than this, but it's not as well written as this. So I have to say, if all things were considered equal, this is the better film, and I really think that speaks to it. The only problem that I really did have with The Darkness is that there are mechanical issues involving the monster, and we're not given a fully fleshed out monster as well as not fully fleshed out characters. It could have dealt with more character development, making me more involved. I mean, I felt these people, they were people, you cared about them enough to not want them to die, but this movie fell flat when it came to really getting you to invest in them. Other than the boy, I mean, there's the mother character, and she is a troubled person, and I should connect with that. I've dealt with the mentally ill on many occasions. I have my degree in psychology. But she didn't resonate with me. And, you know, I get all the things that are happening. It's just there is a certain lack of resonance. So, again, this movie, it is a very good movie. I recommend you go see it. But understand that if you're the kind of person that, in general, doesn't like horror movies, you're probably not going to enjoy this. And if you're the kind of person that thinks very heavily about plot, you're probably not going to enjoy this either. But if you're a horror addict like my brother, well, he loved the heck out of this movie. And I think if there were an R-rated cut, he'd want to go see it. Anyway, That's my 50 cents on the matter. I'd love to hear yours down in the comments below. I'm Richard.